ladies and gentlemen, ghosts and ghouls and other assorted creatures of the night, welcome to Dragon Wheels. My name is Nonny Townsend, spooky nerd in residence, and your game master for this evening. Tonight we'll be playing That Which Hunts Them, a survival horror microsystem where the players must work to evade, gather clues about, and hopefully escape that which hunts them. On to my victims, or players. So if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you'll be playing tonight. James?
Hello, I will be playing a detective in the Metropolitan Police Force. I realise now how I probably should have rethought that based on the events of this week.
Would you like to rethink it right now?
Yes, the Edinburgh Police Force, although he does not have a Scottish accent for reasons which would be very clear if you made me try and do one.
Fictional, non-racist, non-sexist police force.
Yes, although my character, whose name is Ron Waffle, has very stereotypically got a drinking problem and has recently been estranged from his wife, who ran off with her yoga instructor due to being very just not aggressive. Let's think this through. Not caring about his work as much anymore and drinking heavily on the job. His boss, the superintendent, is it?
That'll do.
Has forced him to go away on a mindfulness retreat to hopefully get him back on track. And that's all I thought up.
Fabulous. Glenn?
My name is Bob Stewart. I am a secondary school science teacher and full-time dad. I see myself generally as an upstanding citizen and a pillar of my local community. I volunteer at the local cat shelter on weekends, and I'm active in my son Toby and daughter Emily's football team.
What character are you playing?
And my reason for attending the mindfulness retreat is after a particularly stressful day at work. This is a bit embarrassing, but I received a speeding ticket on my journey home, which is the only time I've ever committed a crime in my entire life. And obviously my adoring wife, Karen Stewart, was shocked at my lapse in behaviour. So she booked me in for a mindfulness retreat, and too right. And other than that, in my spare time, I'm an amateur crossword player. I'm actually the Daily Mail 2015 regional crossword champion. So that is my special ability.
Fabulous. Tim B?
That's me. I'm Tim B. Tim A will go next. Hello everyone. I'm going to be playing Brad. Brad is a wealthy Californian socialite who lives off of his parents' credit cards. He's basically very nice. He's very positive. He's a himbo, so he's lovely but clueless. He gets through life with a combination of a very positive outlook, good fortune, and lots of money. His power, his strength, if you will, comes from the fact that he's basically just very lucky. He's born well. He coasts through life, and bad things just seem to miss him and happen to other people. I will be at this retreat very simply because I won a ticket in a competition, like a card in Monopoly.
He's also come second place in a beauty pageant.
The local beauty contest, yeah.
Tim A1.
Tim A1. Yep, that's me. Hi, I'm Tim. Also, that's what the A stands for. And I am playing Maeve Baxter. She is 19. She works at H&M. And she generally has no time for anybody, cannot be bothered, but keeps herself to herself and hides in the background like a non-kooky Ali Sheedy in The Breakfast Club. That is what I want you to visualise. I
need to Google who that is.
Yeah, it's one of my great screen crushes, Nonny. It's the most.
Yes, Tim, we are old.
The single most.
The non-kooky version is your crush.
The single most, the kooky version, the one that puts sugar in her sandwiches. And my special ability is that because I am quite quiet and people just seem to overlook me, and therefore I'm very good at nicking things. And in fact, the reason that I am here is because some bitch in H&M was being a bitch, so I stole this ticket out of her handbag.
And then just decided to use it.
Yeah, then
they'll never find you.
Well, the lady can't remember. She can't remember anything. She's just like, oh, I must have
also,
lost
you
it.
stole it from someone with kind of like a severe kind of mental disorder, which causes them to forget things.
That is everyone around me.
Yeah.
I radiate it.
Sounds like she needs to go on a mindfulness retreat.
That would have been great for her.
Exactly. I just thought there might be a spa.
Yeah, you can surely you can hope for that.
I am. That's the main reason I'm here.
When you say a spa, you mean like a pampering place, and not?
No, I'm a fan of small.
Not the small British chain of supermarkets.
He just wants booze, basically.
I want there to be a spa and is it
Londis?
Londis.
Londis, yeah.
I want overpriced Kronenberg.
Don't we all? All right. So mechanics of the game are fairly simple. Every character has 3 energy pools: mind, body, and spirit. Whenever a player wants to take an action with a chance of failure, they'll have to wager some of their energy and then roll 2d6s. Once the dice are total, there can be one of 4 outcomes. Rolling a 7 or an 11, their action succeeds and they keep the energy and can even gain some energy back if it relates to their occupation. If they roll a total of 6 or roll doubles, they fail and lose the energy. They roll a hazard number, which will change throughout the game. The action fails, but they keep the energy. But the hazard level rises, which just makes everything just a little bit more dangerous for everyone. And on anything else, the action succeeds, but you lose the energy. If you run out of any of your pools of energy, you will become vulnerable and thus very easy to kill. But I'm sure things won't come to that. You all also have a secret that you are very keen to keep to yourselves. But if that secret is discovered, that will give additional energy to the person who finds it out. There are a few other bits and bobs, but I will expand on those as and when they're needed. The hazard level is low, which means it is number 5, and the game begins.
And just in case people, just the one last thing which I think probably needs explaining is that we all have a special ability as well. So some of us touched on it in our...
I mean, I was going to bring that up if someone said, I want to use my special ability.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
a natural way to bring it up.
Love it.
Sorry.
But no, it's fine. It's fine.
I feel like I've already ruined everything.
No.
We expected that when we invited you, Tim, so it's fine.
I blame myself.
The way that Tim can now succeed in any of his roles is to roll a total of 2. But yeah. So it is dusk. It is a wonderfully warm summer evening as you approach Briarwell Manor in the minibus. There's 6 of you all together. So there's you 4, plus the minibus driver and one other guest at the retreat, a quiet man who, according to the register that the minibus driver read out, is called Marvin Tabbitt. Pass through these ornamental iron gates and up the driveway through a very carefully manicured garden. You see there's rose bushes, there's topiary, there's a well with very sort of deliberately overgrown flowers around it. And just outside the main doors, you see a large decorative fountain. As you pull up and you stop outside the doors, you meet a woman who greets you. She's blonde, petite, dressed in a way that very clearly is meant to come across as like spiritual and bohemian, but everything matches just a little bit too well and is very carefully pressed. So really what she does is just give off really strong travel agent vibes. And she's standing next to a table of Pimm's-like mocktails. And she smiles at you as you exit the bus and says, "Welcome, hi, welcome to Briarwell Manor's Mindfulness Retreat. I'm Nikki, and I am so excited to offer our hospitality for your enjoyment this weekend. So please have a drink, relax. We've got some delightful things planned. Now, I'm firmly of the opinion that the best mindfulness is through play. So we're just going to try and have a good time, really explore that energy together." And she just continues talking, babbling away to usher you inside.
I pick up one of the mocktails, take a big swig, realize that it is unalcoholic, and just spit it back into the cup and put it down amongst the others.
I think Ron is already was probably not even listening to what Nikki said. Went up and tried one of the non-spat-in mocktails, realizing no alcohol that was in it. Got out a hip flask and added some of his own alcohol to it, and then carried on drinking.
Whereas I had the opposite response of smelling it to make sure it definitely didn't accidentally have some alcohol in it, and then when I was sure, drinking it quite happily.
Also, when I see that Maeve has spat hers back and put it down, I'll make eye contact with her and then pour some of my hip flask into that one that she just put down.
In that case, my character is also surreptitiously moving his glass towards the hip flask as well.
And then, he'll look at Brad and then walk away.
So Nikki did actually see you do that second one into Maeve's glass, and she does give you a very pointed look and say that, obviously you are free to do whatever you like in the grounds, but we do want to encourage you to think about approaching this with a clear head, all right?
I swig directly from my hip flask whilst maintaining eye contact with her.
My character has been staring semi-vacantly into the middle distance, suddenly tunes in and goes, "Not a problem."
Fabulous. So if you'd like to follow me, I'll be able to get you all settled. So she takes you on a quick tour of the manor house. It's not massive. As far as manor house goes, it's not a huge estate. But it's just a sort of a nice house in the sort of Highland countryside. So it's got a little library, it's got a dining room, it's got a sort of an old-fashioned kitchen. And she leads you upstairs to where all of the bedrooms are. So you're all staying, you all have your own bedroom along the same corridor. And so she invites you to sort of get unpacked, get relaxed, and sort of be up fresh and ready for some wonderful activities the next morning. Okay? Have a great night. And then she disappears off down the corridor. They're leaving the five of you, technically, though Marvin does seem to be quite reserved and just immediately retires to his own bedroom.
Are the bedrooms assigned? Have we been given an assignment, or is it just...
Yeah, so there's 5 bedrooms. There's 3 on one side, 2 on the other. Marvin's sort of the closest to the staircase. Then Ron, Maeve, and then on the other side it will be Brad and what's the last name? Ron.
Bob.
No? Bob. Right.
Bob.
So, like, if any of you have a hot tub, we are so sharing.
No.
And just beyond Bob's room, there is a little shared bathroom.
Well,
Oh wait, are we sharing a bathroom?
Yes, I'm afraid there is no ensuite. It's a very historical building, listed actually.
Well, guys, since we're going to be here for a little while, maybe we should sort of try and enforce a cleaning rota. Just make sure we all do our bit to keep it nice.
Can I just check, Nonny, what time? You said it was like late afternoon.
So I was saying it's dusk, so this will be in the middle of summer, so it's about 9, half 9.
Ron is just then gonna kind of just, rather than go to the room, is just gonna start looking around the grounds and getting an idea of the quickest way out if he has to.
not that you're expecting anything bad to happen.
No, it's just a cop thing.
Fair enough. Is there any particular area that you want to explore? Did you say the grounds, like the gardens?
Yeah, I think he's just gonna kind of have a little look around the kind of outskirts, and then maybe just explore it, just because he doesn't want to go to bed and sit alone with his thoughts.
Yes. So there's some lovely gardens in the place, and it's a very mild, warm night. So it's mild, warm. That's contradictory. So it's a very warm night. There's not a lot of wind about, and you can see the stars. It's very clear. So in the front of the house, like the decorative gardens. So you've got the sort of lovely little rose bushes, some very well trimmed topiary. I'm fully repeating myself. I'm so sorry. So the well that the manor's actually named for, so it's Briarwell Manor, is there, and it's looking very fairy tale.
Okay.
But at the back,
he's definitely so Ron's definitely having a cigarette as he walks around, and he'll go and have a look, kind of at the well a little bit closer. Is it like open?
I'll be. So it is open. So you look down it, and it's very old brick, an old brick well. But the rod that the bucket would have hung from is actually hanging empty. So it's just a kind of a stick at the moment. And that might have been removed for like health and safety reasons, or it might have just rotted away. It does look quite old.
In that case,
and so going around,
he'll flick the cigarette butt down the well.
After a few seconds, you hear a very, very distant hiss of the cigarette going out in the water.
Of an angry snake that the cigarette landed.
Meanwhile, back in the hotel room, my character's got some prosecco and orange juice out of his enormous suitcase. So, like, who's up for mimosas?
I have gone into my room. I've spent about 10 minutes putting things into places, just like safe places, moving things. And then very much I would like to search for an alternative bathroom so that I don't have to share it with 4 creepy old men.
My character's not old. He's about your age.
but creepy though.
But definitely.
But
he's a Californian socialite. Of course, he's creepy.
So
I'm gonna go just scope out the building, basically.
Yeah. So the upstairs is kind of split into 2. So you come out the hallway to your bedrooms, and you kind of the entry hall is this big room with one of those staircases that splits in the middle. So the corridor of your room is off to one side. So to come out that corridor, you go down into the entry hall again. Obviously this is a historic building. There's lots of old oil portraits on the walls. There's very like worn flagstones, very beautiful ornate carpet. In the middle where the staircase branches, there's a big stag skull mounted. So you can kind of go up to the other side of the staircase, and there's another corridor with a couple of doors on it. One of them is locked. You presume this must be where Nikki's sleeping. And there is in fact another. It's a small bathroom. It's like a water closet. It's not got a shower or anything, but it has got a toilet and a sink.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else of interest that I kind of spotted as I walked through the building? Also, I just want you to know that I am, as I walk, I'm just running like my hand over everything, just not like. God, I can't remember what being a teenager was like. Just a bit being a bit of a prick, really. Just sort of like touching stuff. Just touching stuff.
That's what I did as a teenager.
Your oily fingerprints all over the antique.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm eyeing them up, seeing if there's anything worth taking right away.
So obviously, I presume that you don't have a history in antiques, but
No.
even with that, like you feel like probably the portraits are worth something, but they all seem to be
I
pretty
can't nick a portrait off the wall.
every so often. So there are along sort of corridors and stuff. You do see like sort of side what is it, the word sideboards. They're sideboards, but the drawers in them do appear to be empty. Occasionally, they will have something like a candlestick or a vase on them, which don't seem to be secured down in any way, and look like they could be worth something. The candlestick, some of them look like they could maybe be silver, but most of the valuable looking things are furniture.
Okay.
But that said, if you were to go down to downstairs, are you going downstairs as well?
Yeah.
So there is the dining room, which is a very sort of warm, inviting room. It does have a large table, which appears to be, for some reason, already set for breakfast the next morning. Just the plates, none of the food, obviously.
Okay.
But again, the silverware that's set out does look like it could maybe be silver. You're not entirely sure, but it could be. And there's a door off that room that will take you through to the kitchen, where again there's like equipment set out that again looks like it could maybe be antiques that are still like in use. They're all very well cleaned, still obviously in use, but they do look very old. In the library as well, there are lots of books which look quite old.
Cool. I would like to take a book from the library and then find like a quiet corner where I pretend to read, but really just watch everyone going around their business.
Okay.
I really want to smash cut back to like me sitting on the end of Bob's bed with a mimosa in hand in a champagne flute I've managed to rustle up. So like that was the end of my ski trip in 2017. But then next year,
Who are you talking
to? Bob.
Me.
Next year we went to Aspen, and the skiing there you would love it. Do you ski? Of course you ski. So like then the next year we were in like is it Switzerland? Is that near England? Is that near here?
Nearish.
Great. So then I met the most amazing. She was the most amazing woman you've ever met. She was so lovely. She was like.
We've got a couple of spam accounts. James, you might want to block them.
I just liked having extra viewers, to be honest.
Meanwhile, while Tim is saying this, I'm being endlessly patient, being an upstanding father, and I've taken out 7 different pastel shirts, and I'm just ironing them. Ready to hang up.
Love that. I love it.
And I'm drinking a mimosa, but without the alcohol. Just a champagne flute with orange juice in it.
Virgin mimosa.
Yeah, virgin mimosa.
Meg, you sit on one of the sofas in the library. It doesn't look like there are actually that many people in the house besides yourself, Nikki, and
this is the kind of thing that I'm trying to scope out, basically. Like, just get.
Oh no, sorry, I forgot. There is actually an extra door which was on the other side, which also locked, which is probably where the bus driver is sleeping. But they seem to have gone to bed. You kind of see Ron out looking a bit.
Oh, he's not looking shifty. He looks bored.
He's shifting about, looking bored.
You see him wandering around, going outside. You kind of hear the muffled noises of Vlad and Bob having a good old chat upstairs. But other than that, nothing really happens for the next wee while. Is there, Ron? Are you done with the well, or is there anywhere else you'd like to have a look through?
Yeah,
gardens, or there does appear to be a.
There seems to be a what now?
Back. There seems to be a walled garden that takes up the back half.
Oh yeah,
of
I'll have a
the
little wander through that.
grounds.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, so that takes you to a kitchen garden. So it's these very kind of neat rows of plant beds where like herbs and vegetables are growing, and right at the end you do see you see 3 or 4 fruit trees and a little chicken run that has 2 hens who are just pecking about at some oats on the ground. And there's a door there that leads you back into the
feel
kitchen.
like I'm in Nonny's Animal Crossing island right now.
So, like, having a house with a kitchen garden and some chickens is like, that is the dream.
Cool. I'm just kind of strolling around, kind of just looking at stuff and seeing if anything kind of catches my eye, but not really expecting anything to. And then probably gonna just let myself back in and head up to my room and probably quite quietly so I don't accidentally get Brad to talk to me.
It's all right. I think as you're walking up, you can hear my voice still talking out of Bob's room. Like
I occasionally mumble a sort of, "Oh yeah," and then other than that, have no input to the conversation.
Yeah. I think you do.
You believe we're having a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
you're just
Bob's
telling
been
me
asleep
stuff.
for several hours. But yeah, I'll go into my room and lock the door if I can.
Yeah, there's little
Cool,
thumbs
I'll do that, and then I'll lie in the bed and not go to sleep all night because my thoughts attack me.
Okay.
You're playing this character so
Yeah.
real, James.
It's every one of these characters, it's what my mood is this weekend.
Am I sad this week? Okay. Is there anything else that people would like to do before they head to bed?
No, that's it for me.
My character's going to wander aloud, as in wonder, not wander, aloud when Maid Seth is going to come to do the ironing. But otherwise, just head to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a spa?
Unfortunately not. There is no spa.
I leave the book on the sofa that I was sat on, and I go to my room disheartened by the lack of spa and wondering maybe this ticket wasn't worth nicking.
There's just a happy shopper instead.
B&M bargains.
And yeah, I go to my room and just for a little bit watch Rod as he kind of wanders around.
His name's
outside.
Ron.
Feeling that out of everybody, I've probably built the biggest.
His name is Ron, not Rod.
Not knowing
I love Rod.
You've taken one letter from every one of our names to combine it into Rod.
Right, so the hours of the night wear on, and in sort of the early hours, maybe 1 or 2 a.m. Now you said Ron isn't really sleeping, so you hear it first. You hear what sounds like a slam and a heavy thud. Now that heavy thud will probably also wake whoever is sleeping. That is, it sounds like something really quite heavy being thrown against a door. And it's coming from somewhere that isn't one of your rooms. You hear it coming in from the corridor.
Ron's gonna get up instantly and open his door to have a look.
My character will peek out of his door.
Yeah, I will also peek out of the door.
I'll stand by the door listening.
Okay, so you hear nothing, but the people who are peeking out into the hallway. Now, the hallway itself is deserted, but Marvin's bedroom door is now open, and there does not appear to be any light or movement coming from inside.
I'm going to walk towards Marvin's bedroom, and then do a gentle knock on the door and say, "Is everything okay in there?"
So you don't see anything. You don't hear any reply. There isn't a reply.
And then I'm opening the door.
My character's quietly come out of his room as well, in behind. He's wearing nothing but a very, very, very small black pair of pants.
Ron is in boxers and a white kind of wife beater vest.
Bob is wearing a pastel two-piece.
Oh, and he
pajama
also
set.
Ron has got socks on, pulled up really high.
That's. Do you get a night outfit description for Maeve?
Yeah, she's wearing black pajamas.
I'm glad that we can entertain Tim's wet dreams.
Did you say you pushed open the door? Cool. So the room is now empty. The sheets are disheveled. It does look like someone was sleeping in them.
There are sheep in there.
Sheep. No, the sheep come later. So the sheets are disheveled. It looks like someone was sleeping in there, but they then got pulled out.
They got pulled out?
They're they pulled out of bed.
What gives me that impression? Is there like claw marks on the floor? Or...
One of the clothes is on the floor, and the sheets are half off the bed.
In that case, seeing that he's not in there, I'm going to kind of turn around and start kind of, because I assume he would have been pulled up the hallway because everyone else was just opening their doors, unless one of them did it.
I think as you turn round to step out, I'm just coming through the doorway and give a little shriek as you turn. Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! You gave me such a fright.
Stay calm. I'd stay in your room if I were you. I think.
Where's something
may
Marvin?
have happened to him. I'm just gonna have a look. I'm sure there's probably a logical explanation.
I hear this commotion and walk
what
out.
Happened to Marvin?
So what was that, Nonny?
So as you're talking, you do start to hear a voice coming down the corridor. It sounds like it could maybe be Marvin, though it's a lot higher than you remember his voice being from what you did hear him say. And it's simply saying 20, 19,
I'm heading
18.
towards it.
It keeps. You're heading towards it.
As am I. Oh my god, Marvin, are you okay? What happened?
So walk out into the main hall, into the entry.
I want to be able to see, but I'm keeping a distance.
Yeah, same. I'm at the back.
So you do see Marvin. He's standing round about there, where the main door is. Now you see him. He is standing with his hands over his face. He's like a kid who's about to play hide and seek. He's got his hands over his face like this, and he's counting down very, very slowly. And as you walk in, you see him standing by the door, and he's just approaching one. So he goes 3, 2, 1. He pulls down his hands. He looks you in the eye, smiles, and you did not see this man smile at all while you were there earlier. Goes, ready or not, here I come, and then he vanishes.
What, like in a puff of smoke?
Just you can't even pinpoint the exact moment. You were watching him, and then for some, like, it was whilst you blinked or when your eye darted to look at something else in the room, he just vanished.
Like, oh my God! Like, where did Marvin go? We had so many good conversations on the bus.
Ron's kind of like just kind of continues to blink and looks confused and puts his hand to his head and then takes a step closer to kind of look at where it was that he vanished from and just trying to find some hint. And then he kind of remembers that Brad's there and turns around and says, "You saw him vanish too, right?"
Like, oh my God, yeah. He just like disappeared and stuff.
Bob goes, "Oh, guys, it's a magic show. It's part of the entertainment of the retreat." I didn't think it would start in the night though. This is very strange, but
I am
must be what
not
it is.
having fun right now. I need like 9 hours of sleep, or I am grouchy, and this is too much.
Well, guys, this place is about opening our minds and experiencing new things. We've just got to go get on board with it.
Ron's kind of looking for any evidence of how someone might have just disappeared.
Yeah, I think Mavis kind of moved forward a bit and is checking out the room as well, trying to figure it out. Piqued, my curiosity has been piqued, but I'm also very on edge. Don't like the disappearing people.
So, James, because you said I'm going to ask James to do this because I want to start off with a role that gives him the highest chance of success. I don't want to kill anyone. No, I'm asking because you're a detective. Do you want to make a mind roll?
That is exactly what I'd like to do.
And you're wagering 1 point of
Okie
energy.
doke. That is great. So I rolled 2d6. I rolled a double 2.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
Did you roll double? Yep. So let me double check that is indeed the case. Yeah, if you roll doubles, you fail and you lose the energy.
So I've lost one. I've lost one mind.
You've lost one mind. I've always said that about you.
No, you do not see anything. The flagstones seem entirely solid. The door didn't open. There was nothing around where you were. I will say, though, is that the hallway, there's an uncomfortable feeling. It's almost like the night, which had been actually quite warm, in this particular room, just it all drains away, and you've got this shiver and goosebumps. And there's something about the stag's head, this is for everyone, that seems uncomfortable.
So, like, Ron, like, what do you see?
I certainly don't see any way that a man could have disappeared. But I'm no magician.
Well, you seem like real smart to me, so...
There's something going on here, and I don't know what it is, and I don't like not knowing what's going on.
Oh, I don't mind it. Like, it's fine. Sometimes you just like don't know, and it's like it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's great.
I've got several different things open with my notes, so apologies while I very quickly. You keep talking whilst I'm just checking.
No, we're
sure. I'm just gonna start pointing at various things.
Could I have you?
Ron, a clue like this. That is that a clue? Is that
Nonny, could I have used my
clue?
special ability to do that of like inferring details?
Hypothetically, you could, yes.
But I would rather than rolling, then I would have just spent the energy anyway.
Yep. I would have probably put the energy
That's
as
fine.
higher.
I was just checking because I how that works.
Yeah, this system is new to all of us, isn't it? So.
I have shoved a load of things out of the way, and I'm sat in the middle of the dining room table, cross-legged, just staring analytically at this stag's head, just sort of looking at it.
So as you watch, something about the surface of the bone seems unusual. It almost feels like it's not as solid as it should be. It's like if you're looking at like something's moving underneath.
Underneath the. All right,
Underneath
I'm gonna get up. I would like to walk across the table and see if I can lift up. If I can lift up the head off the wall.
So this is high up. You would probably need someone's help for this. It's going to be taller than you are. It's in the middle of the staircase, so it's probably about 1 feet off the ground. These are quite high ceilings. So if you can get somebody else to help.
Well, do you need a hand with that? I'm happy to help.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. I was building up the courage to go and ask Brad, who I hate myself for this, but kind of fancy. But then when Bob asks, I sort of just go, yeah. Can you get that for me? Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, no worries. I'll pull a chair and stand on top and try and reach up.
Okay.
Bob, you want me helping? I can catch it, or I can stand nearby, or whatever you need. I'm happy.
If you could just sort of give us a bit of moral support, that would be lovely.
I am great at that.
I'm sure you are.
So, Bob, can you please make a body roll for me? And it's going to be a wager of 1 energy.
Like this.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Oh no,
Beautiful.
it's double 5. Shall I? That's not just a thing with the app, is it?
Okay, so double 5. So you reach up to get this stag's head. Now, you do get a grip of it, and as you touch this thing, I need to remember to cross off your body. So you get a pretty solid grip of it. It's quite heavy, and you can't really get it off the hook that's holding it. And as you actually grab onto it, you feel it shift. Now, initially, it feels like bone. It feels solid. But for just a moment, something shifts, like a little bump in the bone shifts, and something pops out and skewers you directly into the hand. And it's a sharp pain. And you can feel as it wriggles its way down into your hand and away, and you stop being able to feel it once it gets up your arm.
Guys, I think something went into my arm.
Like what? What was it?
Ron is going to run over and kind of like try and investigate the wound and see if I can work out what he's on about.
Would you like that to be a roll, or would you like that to be? I feel like this is medical, so it would make you wager 1 energy, but spend 2 if you wanted to be.
I'll spend 2 for my special ability. I don't want to risk ruining.
I was gonna ask if my good luck special ability would let the the deer thing, the head just fall off and into my arms as it like sort of bucks around. It just falls off. Pardon the pun.
So what are we wanting to do?
As in, so you said it like the thing shifted around before it speared into Bob's hand.
It's on the and it kind of he got it to tilt a little bit, but he didn't actually lift it up.
Okay, fine. No worries then. Ignore me.
But I will spend 2 mind energy to work out what's going on with Bob's new parasite.
So you can see in hand there is a little hole. It's bleeding. It's not bleeding a lot, but it definitely looks quite deep. And if he pardon me, if he lifts up his can see almost a vague dark outline of something. Now, as you're watching it, it seems to dance, like squirm its way.
Sorry, Nani, I don't know if it's just my end, but I feel like you were about to say something really horrible and grisly, and then the internet cut out.
It did as well for me.
Yeah.
So it runs its way up the arm again, and it's up into the shoulder, up through the neck, and onto the cheek.
Nani, so just to confirm that this is a wriggling I can see inside his arm, like in that scene in The Mummy.
Not quite as big, but yeah.
Cool. In that case, as soon as I see that, I'm going to try. I want to try and put my hands around it to stop it from going out of his arm.
Okay.
And then I'll turn to what's her face, Tim's character, Maeve, and say, "I suppose you happen to have a knife or something, do you?"
I make a big show of like patting all my pockets, and then I just pick up one of the forks off the table and go breakfast.
Yeah, I want to try and stab it out of him.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
With a fork, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, it's a butter knife. Do you want the butter knife?
Yes.
Steak knife, at least.
For breakfast.
You want steak for breakfast, you fancy bastard.
You have normal decent knives in a hotel breakfast. Like, you don't just have butter knives.
Yeah, but like if you had to poke something through somebody's skin, you'd use a fork rather than like one of the round-headed.
It's been a serrated blade.
Yeah.
Nani, is there a sharpish knife set for breakfast?
As we debate the minutiae of breakfasts. Like we're
Okay.
fucking hobbits.
I want to say that there is, because I want to yes and, but also I want to say there isn't, because YOLO. So I'm gonna roll.
That's fine.
Decide.
There could be like a breakfast knife,
there-
like a bread knife.
There
How
is.
you want to stab it out with a bread
Slice
knife?
it, yeah, and then.
While this debate is going on, I'd like to just sort of put my other hand up and just be like, I would prefer the incision to be made with a knife rather than a fork, if my opinion carries any weight.
Shut up,
here.
Bob.
My character is
You're
just
doing a great job, and I don't want to criticise.
my character's just waving a hand in his face like, oh my god, 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 and he grabs like a paper bag from just somewhere. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I like the idea that Ron and I both just said shut up at exactly the same time as we're having this debate, and then like give each other a little knowing look.
The dice have been merciful. Yes, there is a sharp knife. It looks like it's maybe there for serving something or like cutting off a big portion of something. But there is
Oh,
a
don't worry, we're going to have a breakfast ham. I found this.
I don't know how posh people have their
Yeah.
breakfast.
Bob is very much upper middle class. He's used to the finer things.
This is the mindfulness ham.
We're having steak
What
Benedict.
do I need to roll to cut this thing out of Bob?
Because you spent the energy, I'm not gonna make you roll for that as well. Okay, this is continuation of you using your ability. But I am going to Bob. If you want him to cut it out of you, you're gonna have to make a body roll.
Oh no, I've only got 2 left. Due to being very, very doughy, my body score is quite low. Right.
Why did you volunteer to get the thing down?
He's nice.
Because I'm lovely, yeah. I'm just very helpful. I rolled a 4 and a 6.
And 6. So that's 7. So it succeeds, and so it hurts like a bitch. It absolutely does. But Ron is able to, with minimal excess damage, make a small incision, and almost like, oh, this is where I'm approaching my own squicks. Almost like popping people, squeeze this thing out of your arm.
I go, ooh, that's smart.
Say as well. Okay.
What is it that comes out?
So it almost looks like a tiny, like a fat pink maggot.
Oh.
But if you look closely, it's a squirming piece of meat that seems moving on its own. And it falls to the floor, and it kind of wriggles about and then disappears down a crack between the stairs.
I look Bob directly in the eye and say, "What the fuck was that?"
Well, I mean, I've had ticks before. It didn't really look like one of those, but I suppose out here in the countryside, there's some interesting insect and wildlife. Maybe it was something like that.
Well, my character's calmed back down now. Says, "I'm pretty sure like my dad served that at like a party sometime recently.
Right.
Like I think they're good with like seafood sauce."
Nope.
No.
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 No. I walk into the kitchen. I'm gonna go look for booze in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Are you announcing that you're looking for booze?
Yeah. I go. I need a fucking drink.
I have mimosas.
I still have my hip flask on me, despite being in my vest and boxer shorts.
Okay. Cool. I take your hip.
Oh, I wasn't
flask.
offering it.
I
You take it.
I take your hip flask from you, and I pour a little bit onto Bob's wound, and then I take a massive swig.
Oh, thank you. That's very, very kind of you.
No problem.
Okay. So what?
And the more likely I am to just be like, your risk level's gone up. Just a warning.
Mine has.
No, I'm saying that if you guys do all get drunk, I am going to put up the risk level.
Oh, I just needed.
It's a rules, but it makes sense.
Maybe just a nip.
I don't know. Just a bit of maggoty steak crawled out of somebody's arm. I'm having a drink.
Oh, Nonny, did I lose that point of body, by the way?
But you got to keep it.
Oh, cool.
Roll the lucky 7.
Yeah.
Didn't you roll a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, did you?
10. No, 6 and 4.
6 and a 4.
Let me double check. I'm sorry, I thought you said 6.
I rolled
4.
a 3.
6,
4, 10.
So yeah.
In which case, yes, you did lose.
I'm down to body 1.
Woo!
At this point, I'm visibly sort of out of breath from the small amount of exercise it took to take that down.
Look,
It still hasn't happened yet.
Which still, yeah, I didn't succeed, but I got very tired trying.
So guys, seriously, what was that? I mean,
I don't know what it was, but I think we need at least to have a little bit of rest. I don't know what.
Should I like get it down? Like I'm really good at interior design.
Yes, now is the time for interior design. Not yourself out,
Okay,
Twinkle Toes.
I'm gonna climb up and get down the get it down.
Cool. I move behind the table and I'm holding the knife, the breakfast ham knife.
I've still got the breakfast ham knife.
I stole it off you. I'm very
You can't
good.
steal my. You could choose my hip flask or my knife. You can't have both.
Okay, I'm holding the hip flask in front of me.
So I wager a body, is it, Nunny?
Yeah. Wager 1 on body.
5 and a 5. Fucking hell!
What is wrong with us?
So, you know what this means? Means you've got your own little maggot friend as well.
Can I? My power is that things seem to just miss me and happen to someone else.
You're going to make it go back into Glenn?
It just flies past you into Bob. Woo!
No, I'm not. I thought that would be funny, but I'm not going to do that. That's not fair.
Sorry. So yeah, you also feel that little bite. In fact, it's almost like that you feel like there are more than just the one that stabbed you in the hand under there. It feels like this thing is almost infested, even though to all appearances it looks like a.
Okay. Okay. Get it out, please, get it out, please.
Is it in him?
It is in him.
Ugh.
It is crawling its way.
This is how we just spend the game, poking knives into each other.
Well, as I've still got the knife,
Yep.
I'm going to try and repeat my success of slicing it out.
Is that me rolling a body again to survive it, like Bob did?
Yeah.
I'm keeping real distant, and
That's 4. Is that
No.
the hazard number? No, it's not, is it? That's.
I think that's just fine.
I think
Yeah.
that's fine as well.
That's a pass that you lose on bodies.
That's fine.
That total 1 and 3. Cool.
I think.
Yep.
Oh my god! Like the last time I was that full of meat was like spring break last year, and it was not fun.
Well, I think probably what we should do is possibly try and contact one of the people who works here. I mean, they've obviously got an infestation of something very nasty here, and it's obviously not safe. Let's see if we can find anyone who works here. That's the most sensible course of action.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Hey, Nikki. Hey, Nikki.
You're so fine. You're so fine, you blow my mind.
You're so fine. You blow my mind.
Hey, Nikki, your retreat's infested with chicken nuggets.
We're going to go bang on the door.
Wait, you're banging on the door.
When they go,
So-
by the way, I think Ron's going to look at Maeve and then hold up this now bloodied knife and go, you know what, I actually think this mindfulness weekend's helping.
Can you please put some trousers on?
Trousers off for grown-ups. Yeah, I'll go put some trousers on.
So you're knocking on Nikki's
Yes,
door.
whilst Ron puts some trousers on.
That was just my.
I
that's
forgot
just
that
the
I'm
classic.
still in an extremely small pair of pants and nothing else. Don't I?
Yeah.
I think I might take this opportunity to put some clothes on as well.
I'll knock on her door and go, excuse me, sorry to bother you. Excuse me.
Okay, so Nikki opens the door. She takes a second to take this all in because it's quite the picture you've got going. Ronnie,
What are Nikki's pajamas like? We need to know.
Pardon, Nunny?
are you still holding the knife?
Oh, no, I've gone back to my room to put some trousers on whilst they went to Nikki.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
me. It's just me and Bob.
Bob. Okay, so she takes you and she takes Bob in. She sort of noticed the slight trickling of blood down your hand. She goes, "Oh my! What on earth is going on? Are you okay?"
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. We had a little bit of an accident. I think you've got a little infestation problem around that the little head trophy thing that's on the wall. I grabbed it and something came out and burrowed in me. It was like a tick, possibly.
Look, that Marvin guy disappeared, and then a chicken nugget bit him.
Marvin disappeared. Well, what happened?
He disappeared. Like he was there, and then he was not there.
Yes, we didn't realise you have a magic show as part of the entertainment. He was there, and then poof, he was gone. It was very impressive. Where is he now?
That really depends on why he disappeared. I don't know why I know.
Well,
I mean, we're not asking. We're just letting you know that one of your guests disappeared, and then your walls are leaking bits of meat that go into people.
Well, we like to make sure that this is a unique experience, and some people they
I phase out of this conversation with Nikki.
I assume you roll your eyes before you do so.
Yeah. And while Bob and Nikki are kind of having this sort of conversation, I want to just see if I can look around her to see what her room's like.
You look around. No, so she has just got to open like a crack, so you can't see much behind her. But it does look like it is literally an empty room.
Okay. Like no furniture, nothing.
No, yeah. Bare floorboards, bare walls.
I'm far too polite to have looked round, so I see none of this.
Okay, cool.
I'll turn round and go, well, it seems like there's a reasonable explanation. She said it's just sort of part of the experience.
Am I getting, because obviously I am getting bad vibes off her, but am I getting bad vibes off her?
Make me, if you want to sort of suss her out.
Yeah, I do want to suss her out. Because obviously, Nonny, she's a weirdo, but I'm not 100% sure Maeve is this yet.
Roll mind for me.
Mind.
And I'm going to get you to wager one energy.
Well, that is a sweet, sweet 10.
10? Okay, so you lose it. So
I've lost my mind.
But you did decide. You succeed. So when you arrived earlier, you hadn't really paid that much attention to her. She was blandly pleasant. But now, once you look closer, it's almost like looking at one of those really disorientating like optical illusions. Like looking at her face, there isn't really one specific thing that you can focus on. And when she speaks, it does almost feel like it's a little bit out of sync. Like the voice and the movement is lagging a little bit. There's definitely something off about her.
Cool. I phase back into the conversation and I'm like, cool, yeah, all right. Got to go now, and I kind of start pulling at Bob's arm.
Oh, we off already? Okay. Where are we going?
And I go, look, I think she is up to something.
She is not moved. She's still watching you wander down the corridor.
And I'm like, yeah.
She's still smiling at you.
Her face is like a weird filter.
Wow, that that's certainly an idea. I mean, it's not a very nice thing to say to the lady. She seemed perfectly lovely to me.
Fucking hell, you're dumb. You're even dumber, you're even dumber than the dumb one.
Oh, nothing is funnier than Tim Goose trying to.
You told everyone my real name.
I'm so
Now
sorry.
they have to be killed.
It's the awful thing about you having a stage name and using your real name on the Skype call, mate.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Tim Goose.
Don't worry, I've cut it out. I bleeped it out.
Nothing is funnier than Tim Goose being a teenager. I've learned today.
On this, I'm sorry, I'm just going to step in, but on this shocking revelation, could we have a 5-minute break? Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the timing, isn't it? We've been going for an hour, so I think it's fair to give our throngs of
Our
viewers
threes.
a chance
Unless, like, literally, Nonny was about to do like a really big reveal or something. I don't want to like ruin her timing.
Good moment.
Pardon?
I said this is a good
Awesome.
moment.
Cool.
In that case, I'll take us to the interlude screen and we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
Lovely.
Hang on. Oh God. I
Well,
didn't turn the music down in time, so I was like, hello, and it went dun 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 dun, like really loudly. Continue.
So, from the break, now, what just happened last was Maeve realized that something was very much off with the retreat lady, Nikki. Bob is entirely oblivious. Just thinks she's a very nice lady. And what was Brad and Ron doing
Putting
again?
trousers on.
on some clothes. The banana hammock was inappropriate, I think, for the remainder of this adventure. So,
Fabulous. So you two have gone back to your room to get dressed.
I think, but if those two are coming up to the corridor, we'll have come out by the time they arrive. And they can...
I'm sorry. It does not take that long to put trousers on. Even me.
On the way back to the rooms, I'm sort of comforting Maeve and just going, because I sort of see her as like one of my children, and I'm just sort of going, look, if you think there's something wrong with her, we can work together. We can try and find out what's going on. I don't really believe it.
At that point, myself and Ron Waffle are coming down the stairs.
But before we go back to meet them, I'm just going to go, bear with me just 2 seconds, and I'm just going to have a more detailed look around Marvin's room. Is that what his name was? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah, this is like a meanwhile.
Oh yeah. Well, that then explains why we didn't come immediately straight back down. So that's good. I will stand outside the door, like leaning against the door frame, just every now and then going, so have you found anything? What is that? What are you looking at? What is that? Is that a clue? Have you found a clue? Is that a clue?
Hey, Brad, can you do me a favour?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Can you shut up?
Oh, I can. Yes. People tell me to do that all the time, and I'm really,
And then
really good. Like I have
then-
to concentrate. Like I.
And then as he's doing this,
absolutely
I
quiet, like,
walk
no
up
problem.
to
I'm
the
so
door
good at
to
it.
Marvin's room and then close it in his face and then carry on looking around.
Through the door, you hear the muffled sound of going, and then when they.
Marvin's room is kind of much the same as everyone else's. There's the bed, there's a wardrobe, there's a little dresser, and a little kind of table and chair. On top of the table, you see his own bag. It's kind of like just a plain hold all. Now, if you go rifling through, you do see that you see there's a couple of pairs of clothes, but you also find some notebooks. Now, most of them are full of fairly mundane, like, it seems fairly mundane stuff. You've got, like, shopping lists, like, to-do lists, appointment, like, you see some stuff that looks like minute notes, but it's all really mundane, like, never forgot to order cleaning
So
liquid
you're saying,
again.
like, there's nothing on the to-do list, like, murder everyone, or be a creepy weirdo, plan magic trick.
There's one, so when you're flicking through the notebook, the last few pages before it goes to unused pages, you get a note about Briarwell. It seems that whoever this guy was, he was actually doing some research before he arrived. Now, he was making notes, and he does write down the sources, and the sources all, they look kind of sketchy, like it's UFOstories.com and GhostStoryShare.com, things like that. Like they look dodgy. You see a couple of subreddits in there. Like someone put a post from what's the subreddit name? It's like True Spooky or something like that. One where it's all creepypastas, but everyone pretends like they're real. Like that's the kind of level of source that he's looking at. But it is notes about Briarwell, and he notes that strangely, the website for this is the only place where you can find any official Briarwell information. They don't have any TripAdvisor. They're not on like Expedia or anywhere like that. But curiously enough, it doesn't seem like they're open at anything other than these retreats. Even though the retreats do appear to look like they're run by like another company. He also notes that some people have claimed that they have been on hikes and they found the manor house, and they have all reported very different sort of experiences having come into it. And the only unifying factor is that anytime somebody stumbles upon it accidentally, it appears to be empty and in some kind of state of disrepair. Though every single person has said something different has happened inside. Some have said that there's been a spectral fire. Someone has reported monsters. Someone has reported something that sounds very much like it was just a bad acid trip. But he says that in these underground, not underground, but even just kooky parts of the internet, there are stories about this place.
Interesting.
So yeah, while you're reading all of that, my character's quite quietly entered the room, and has Noni, quite quiet. I said this to Noni just quietly while this was going, but it seems like a point out. I'm quietly entered the room and like very quiet, like stalked up behind you, and just suddenly out of nowhere goes, "What are you reading?"
Just doing some detective work, Brad.
Oh my god, you found a clue? What is it? What does it say?
Here, can you read?
That will be a
For Brad.
mind roll. I'm joking.
What, for Brad to read? So my character's gonna flick through it those last few pages and say, oh, "Wow, this is like so creepy." Like my dad talks about stuff like this sometimes, but like this is weird. This is like weird, like so weird. Anyway, are we gonna go find the others?
At this point, we walk up to meet you.
Found them.
Guys, what are you
we
looking
found
at?
them. Another case solved.
Yeah. I give a little squeal of joy, a slightly camp squeal of joy. Oh, Maeve! It's so good to see you again. What happened?
Oh.
Brad's getting gayer and gayer.
Yeah.
I'm leaning into like camp, but
Are you?
yeah, that's what I'm leaning. I'm trying
Is
for.
that the vibe?
Extremely camp, but straight.
I feel personally offended. Look, I think something weird's happening. You know that beige girl that met us?
You must mean Nikki, the only other woman we've met. Yes.
Oh yeah, weird face.
Yeah,
girl.
she's like, her face is weird.
Yeah, that's her surgeon. You don't go.
No, like maybe she's not real.
Why do you think that?
Because you know when things are buffering,
Only too well.
like it feels like she's buffering
Can you
her face.
describe it to me? What do you mean, like, buffering? Like,
Like it can't keep up with her.
oh, like when you watch.
Sometimes my face doesn't keep up with my voice.
Like when you watch
Totally
things
get it.
online and like the mouth's moving but the sound's slightly behind.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
My friends say something similar about me.
that. Cool. cool. Yeah, I don't care. Just for now, Brad.
I found this journal in Marvin's pouch bag, his bag pouch. Don't know why. His package. I don't know. He seems to have been doing some research on Briarwell Manor, and there's all sorts of conflicting reports about people stumbling on it accidentally and it looking in some sort of state of disrepair or having various different spooky experiences while they're in there. Some sketchy reports, but certainly Marvin had an interest in this place.
So you're saying he came here to find out,
possibly, and it certainly looks like something dragged him out of his bed and out of the room.
Well, it seems like we need to find this Marvin. Maybe he knows a bit more about what's going on. Why don't we have a little search through the manor?
I mean, it seems to me like we could just leave. I mean, who really cares? Who really cares what's happening here? It's just some old house. I mean, if we just went home, and I can call us a cab, and then we could leave, and then nobody has to get dragged out of bed.
Brad,
ever. I mean,
how about I am a detective inspector. I need to work out if something is going on here. I can call in some backup, sure, but how about you go wake up the bus driver and see if he'll drive you to some sort of fancy hotel or whatever.
Wait, are you you're
yeah.
a cop? So you have a
Not
gun?
with me. God, I wish I had a gun with me. I say, staring at Brad.
Well, look, here we go then. So, why don't I look around to see if I can find him, and you can go and see if the bus driver is around, see if he can, drive us somewhere, and you two want to see if you can find anything more about what he was talking about in his journal.
I'd quite like to go and have my own chat with this Nikki.
Sure.
But I think it's really important that we all split up and do things separately.
So we're agreed. We split up and look for clues.
I think my coach is going to go and look for the bus driver, but as soon as he's essentially on his own in a spooky corridor, he is going to turn around and hang out with the guy with the gun. He hasn't paid attention to the fact that he doesn't currently have a gun with him.
I think, did you say the bus driver's room was quite near Nikki's room anyway?
They're both in the same corridor.
Can you say that again? You jumped out a bit.
They're on the same corridor.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
So are you both going to try and talk to them? Are you each going to try and talk to them at the same time?
Sure, why not?
Where are you going, Maeve? Just so we can keep rough tabs on where everyone is.
I mean, I don't know, really. I feel like I'd probably come with you. I feel like you're the only person out of this group that I have any form of respect.
Maeve, why don't you go with Bob? Not saying that Bob is an idiot, but I certainly think that you, Maeve, a teenager, probably a little bit smarter than Bob. So,
Yeah, all right.
and Bob,
You can come with me. We'll have a lovely time.
Bob, make sure you look after Maeve.
Of course I will. We're going to go and search the grounds.
Cool.
I think.
Maeve, you're aware that I said that to make him feel wanted and useful, right?
I absolutely love the idea that Bob and Maeve turn around and there's a camera shot that just shows Maeve turning and walking with Bob and Ron both rolling their eyes at the same time at Bob.
And I'm just oblivious.
Okay, so you want to speak to Nikki.
Yeah.
So again, she answers the door. She answers it almost immediately. So it feels like she was standing by the door where she had been when she'd been speaking to the other two. She goes, "Hey, it's really late. Shouldn't you guys be up in bed? We've got an early morning tomorrow."
I kind of reach into my jacket and kind of flash her my badge and say, I don't know if you're aware that I am a detective with the Edinburgh Police Force.
Ba-da-da-dam.
I'm really sure to know who all of the guests are.
May I come in and have a quick word, please, Nikki? There's something. I'd just like to ask you a few questions about what's been happening here.
My bedroom's very private, actually. I'm afraid that don't have authorization to let guests into this part of the building.
Then come on out and we can go and have a nice sit down at the dining room table downstairs.
Takes a step out of the door, but stays where she is. Like, what's the problem?
I just kind of stand and hold an arm to gesture down the corridor towards the steps to the dining room.
So she'll kind of look at you for a second and be like, well, I do want to make sure you have the best weekend possible, and starts walking towards the corridor.
As she walks past me, Nonny, can I try and put a hand on her shoulder?
Yeah, she seems real enough.
Okay.
To answer the hidden question that you were asking.
She is definitely solid.
Okay.
As this is happening, Brad, you're trying to get the bus driver away.
Yeah, I'm knocking on the door. What's his name again? I've got it here. Brian. Brad has never met a man named Brian in his life. Brian.
Brienne?
It's me. It's Brad. Hey, it's Brad. Can I have a word with you, please?
So after a few seconds, you hear movement, you hear rustling, and this very disheveled, grumpy-looking man opens the door.
Was he that disheveled when he was driving the bus?
He wasn't immaculate. He definitely looked more disheveled. Like, he's kind of bleary-eyed, and he just opens the door and just goes, "What do you want?"
So, listen, it's a really long story,
Oh,
so I'm going
God.
to try and tell it as fast as I can. But, Marvin, you remember Marvin? He was, the weird, quiet guy on the bus. He was super cool, but he was, weird and quiet. But, he just got, dragged out of bed in the middle of the night by, something. And then he started, counting down from 20. He went 20 and then 19 and then 18 and then 17 and then 2 and then 1 and then he said ready or not, here I come, and then he didn't come, he just went, he disappeared, and it was super weird. It was super weird. Anyway, we went hunting around, and we found a stag's head, and it was creepy, and there was these weird shrimp things that were coming out of it, and it was just super weird, just super weird. And then the detective, he found a journal, a weird journal about this place. And anyway, I'm here just to find out if you know anything about it, and if you can get everyone home and stuff. Do you know anything?
So Brian takes a glance up the corridor, and he sees that Ron is talking to Nikki. And he has a nervous glance towards them and looks back at you and goes, "Don't know what you're talking about." He's slams the door shut again.
I'm going to knock on the door again. And the door.
He opens it, but it's the tiniest crack.
I'm going to say, okay, well, most people don't know what I'm talking about. It's just parties and stuff. I'm talking, and people are listen, Brad, we don't know what you're talking about. So I get it, but can I come in and maybe I can have a seat and think about what I'm saying, and maybe I can explain it, and then you'll understand.
Good question. How long did your first telling of this story take?
I only cut out the counting down from 20.
So he sees that Nikki and Ron have started walking off, and he looks at you, and he's like considering it, almost. But then
I think the moment I see that he's considering it, I just start to very gently start entering. Like he's used to getting his way. I'm just totally used to getting my way. Like my dad's rich. Everyone wants my dad's money. I get my way.
Doors are not closed for you.
Yeah.
Literally.
okay.
I don't think he's being manipulative. He just doesn't understand there's any other way that people are.
So there is a little bit of resistance that he will allow you to enter.
Okay.
Should we quickly swing to the other two to see what they're doing for a sec?
100% do that.
So as we're walking along, I'm going, so what are your favourite subjects at school?
Fucking hell.
I'm 19. I don't go to school.
Are you at uni? Have you gone off to uni yet?
No, I'm in H&M.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, it's good to see you've got a job.
Thank you. I hate it.
Oh, it can't be that bad, can it?
So, what are we looking for?
Well, I think we need to look for our disappearing man. Got to see if he's safe.
Yeah. Okay.
So, did you guys say you were walking through the grounds?
Yeah. Walking through the grounds at night.
No. So, it does seem like a few things have changed since you were out there in the glorious, glorious sunshine earlier. You can't quite tell how, but it feels like a lot of the flowers become disheveled. They had been very...
Like the bus driver!
The word
That
disheveled.
is a clue. That is a clue.
No, I'm just incredibly predictable with the language that I
I
use.
only know 6 adjectives. Sorry, Nonny.
So the topiary bushes, which had been very, very immaculately kind of sculpted earlier, now you can see that there are sprouts coming out of them. Some of the flowers look like they've wilted. It almost looks like something's been like thrusting about in the soil. So some of it's like kicked up. You can see little holes. You can see mounds. It's all looking very, very messy. The night's still clear. There is a moon, so there is some light.
I was gonna say that I've automatically assumed that this part of this place that we're in has got no signal. But despite that, I do have my phone on me, and I'm using that as a torch.
Awesome. Thank you so much for because I realized about 5 minutes before going on to this call, I was like, I didn't account for mobile phone.
I did a silent subplot where one of the reasons that I did the rounds of the whole place at the beginning was trying to see if there was anywhere where I did get signal, and I didn't. So now,
Or even better, like trying to find somewhere to charge your mobile phone.
yeah,
There is, in fact, a terrible lack of plugs as well. They are there. It's old. They haven't put them in properly. There's like one in each room. You don't see any people whilst you're out there, but if you take a wander down to where the gate is not locked, but it will not open.
okay.
It doesn't even feel like it moves much. It's just immovable.
Mm-hmm.
And you try and touch it. Now you would then walk round to the kitchen garden on the back. You see, there's a similar kind of disheveled. I use it a lot.
No, we have disheveled. Disheveled.
There's this similar messiness, this similar disarray in back garden as well. And as you walk in, the wooden gate in the wall, wooden door to a walled garden.
Yeah. Yeah, little wooden gate. I get it.
Yeah.
As it closes behind you, you see just a glimpse of what looks like it might be a person out in the main garden again.
Oi! Oi, who are you?
This person is standing looking away from you. But as soon as you make noise, the head snaps around.
Ugh.
It's Marvin.
It's Marvin.
He turns to look at you.
Now, Nonny, when you said the head snaps around, in my head I imagined like an owl.
I was imagining like The Exorcist, because that is like a horror
Or like
trope.
a normal person.
Looks like an owl. Wasn't my intention, but looking at the reaction it got, hell yeah, that's what happened. The body turns to match up.
I love it. The head turning first, the body like.
The body, yeah.
The legs are still facing the wrong way.
Just slowly.
He smiles at you, and then all of a sudden breaks out in a dead sprint towards you.
Fucking hell.
His face still smiling.
Am
Like
I
a
still in
Richter
the?
screen.
Am I still in the garden, the kitchen garden?
Yeah.
Okay. I go, Bob, we need to shut this fucking gate now.
Yeah, okay.
I want to shut the gate and stop Marvin from getting in.
Yeah, so you're able to shut the gate. There is like a wooden bar that can come down to latch it shut.
Yeah.
And you do hear about a second or so after you close it, you hear a thump of essentially him just barreling into the door.
Yeah.
But it's very solid. It doesn't even sound like he bounced back. It's like you can see in the shadows that are coming in from underneath it, you can see that he is still standing, essentially nose on the door. He is dead there.
Again, the nose hit first, and the rest of the body came in like secondary and tertiary thuds coming up.
I'll sort of knock on the door and go, "Hello, you okay out there?"
He says, "Ready or not, here I come."
God.
I sort of sideways glance, like unnervingly.
Wait, you're being unnerving.
I am unnerved.
Look, mate, you thought I was a kid 5 minutes ago. Why are you looking at me for help? Like, you're fat and old. Fight him.
Shall I see if he's all right out there, or shall we go? At this point, I'm starting to get slightly nervous.
Yeah. Is there like a door to the kitchen from here?
There is a door to the kitchen.
Yeah. Fuck that noise. Let's go this way.
Yeah,
And I head to the kitchen.
he is acting very strange.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now, because I am noticing it's about 5:30 now,
It's Tim's
so I'm going to what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a last little
cliffhanger.
in the kitchen, and then end for the night.
Sounds grand. Let's do it.
Yep.
Cool. So you open the door to the kitchen. It's not locked. There is a latch on this door as well if you were to choose to latch it.
Obviously, I'm fucking choosing to latch it. Yeah.
So what I'm going to say is half level has now been raised.
Yeah.
It is medium.
Oh,
medium
well done,
danger.
Tim and Glenn.
Medium.
Yeah. Me and James are doing just fine talking to the weird person and the weird cipher person, putting us in no danger whatsoever with our obliviousness.
Well, look, how are we meant to know that a trip through a dark garden would be dangerous?
That's fair. I take it back.
Yeah, that's a little bit too topical, isn't it? Let's steer away from that.
So you step into the kitchen. There is this kitchen. It's an old. It's like an old style sort of country house kitchen. So it's got wooden counters along the side and a long wooden table down the middle with the.
I am looking for a knife.
There are knives. So like you saw earlier, whilst you were looking for things to steal, there are these antique pots, but where they'd looked gleaming and clean earlier on, you now see that there are patches of rust that seem to be forming. That the foods, the workstations that weren't there earlier have now just been left out with food that has definitely been there for a few days. There are flies buzzing about
Nonny,
everywhere.
Would you say it looked dishevelled?
Borderline mean now. Tim.
Genuinely,
Sorry,
I
sorry.
thought you were going to do a thing where it says all the pots that were like up at high have been dishelved and laid around.
Very good, very good.
A week.
You can take the week off for
Peace
that.
out.
Really lucky what you did with the broadcast.
Sorry, come on. Let Nonny give us a cliffhanger. Stop interrupting her spookiness, guys.
Fine, I made this for you and you don't like it. No, it's sorry. There's food left out to rot. In the far end, the fireplace, there's a roaring fire, which should logically light up the room quite well, but actually it doesn't seem to pass as much light on as it should.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thickly sweet kind of rot smell in the air, tinged with something a little bit metallic. And as you turn in the corner furthest from the fire, there is one station where this smell seems to be coming from, where there lies what appears to be a half butchered pig. All the offal and intestines are still present, and from where you are, you can almost see the still beating heart.
I puke.
That's where we will end it for.
Well, thank you very much, Nonny. That genuinely had goosebumps for that last bit there. Really, really well done.
Also, I really like the fact that Nonny is just like, I had to wing that bit, and it just shows what a twisted mind you have.
I also like that earlier Tim said for breakfast we were having ham, and he was right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
premonition.
callback.
I guess that means that next week we're playing part 2 of That Which Hunts Them.
Absolutely, can't wait.
Can't
Fantastic. Do you mind if I do the sign out, Nonny? Fantastic.
Not at all.
Thank you
Go
so
for
much
it.
if you are and have continued to watch this stream. We'll be back at the same time next Sunday at 6:30. If anyone has been watching Retroverse, you will know we've not put anything up for a couple of weeks. We're just having a short hiatus while people are on holiday. I don't know really why, but we'll be back not next Thursday, but the Thursday after, so please join us for that. Otherwise, we shall see you next Sunday, hopefully with the same people, who I imagine will die quite quickly.
Yay!
And thank you so much, Nonny.
Yay!
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else got
Cheers
anything
for
they
that.
want to plug before we go?
No.
Nope.
I'm
Check
on
out my
lockdown.
Bebo.
Cool. I'm going to go before Glenn starts trying to resurrect Bebo. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching, and thanks everyone for playing. Bye.
Bye, everyone.